Jazz Game Night post-game show. Jake Scott, Coach Tim Lacombe. Jazz winners tonight, 112-91 over the Atlanta Hawks. Post-game brought to you by Mark Miller Subaru, Utah's only negotiation-free Subaru retailer. Let's get to your three-point feature, sponsored by Mountain America Credit Union, helping members achieve their financial dreams for more than 80 years. Tonight from three, the Jazz shot the fewest number of threes we've seen certainly in a while, 13 of 27, 48.1% tonight. Jordan Clarkson was red hot from three, 5 for 8 from downtown. He had 23 points total in the game, leading the Jazz in scoring. Donovan Mitchell was 3 of 5. Mike Conley, 1 of 3. Bogdanovich, 1 for 2. George Niang, 1 for 4. And how about Jarrell Brantley coming in and knocking 2 down, 2 for 2, coming in off the bench in garbage time. But Atlanta just wasn't going to give the Jazz that open catch-and-shoot three that they like so much.
Yeah, and it ended up being another big night for, mid-range rolls, drives, and floaters, that sort of game. But ultimately, the Jazz did break them and still shot a great percentage, just didn't have the quantity of threes that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, the Hawks actually shot more than threes than the Jazz did. They were 9 of 31. They shot 29%. Not a team, particularly without Trae Young. That's real dangerous from three. Kevin Huerter, certainly a talented shooter. He was 2 of 5. In fact, I thought he'd get more attempts than that. And how about your guy, Tony Snell, coming in 4 for 4 from three? That's what he does, right? 3-and-D guy to the max.
Oh, man, I was having flashbacks over here, too. Like, dang it, Snell's open again. Oh, wait, it doesn't matter now. But, yeah, that's what he does. And he actually almost kind of, he followed right after the Bruce Bowen era and came into the league as a guy who was a dead-eye corner shooter and really capable defensively.
I think there will, who knows where the NBA evolves from here. It seems like a different game than it was certainly, even 15 years ago. But it seems to me there will always be a role for that guy who can be a defensive guy, has to be taller, has to be a wing, can't be a point guard, but a 3-and-D guy who can knock down those corner threes and guard the other team's best player. Always going to be rewarded. Always going to be a role for that.
No question. And honestly, it used to be where you'd have one of those, but you can see how the Jazz are playing right now. If you can get a guy who's capable like that, can do a little bit with the ball, it's the model the Jazz have used, is really good shooting and an emphasis on defense.
All right, let's get some more post-game sound. Let's go back to Atlanta. Jordan Clarkson is addressing the media.
All right, we'll get started with Eric Walden, Salt Lake Tribune.
Hey, JC. I was just wondering if you could tell us from your perspective kind of what the difference was in the second half from the first half tonight.
They were throwing some different things at us. We're going to start seeing teams do a lot of that. In the first half, we was just kind of reading it out, feeling it out, I feel like. And then second half, first half we kept defending. In the second half, I feel like we started attacking defensively, where we started getting out in transition and getting our shots. But a lot of teams are going to try to take things away from us. A lot of catch and shoot opportunities, stuff like that. But we're prepared, and we just keep trying to get better at that.
Ryan Miller, KSL.
Hey, JC, I wonder if you could just go into a little more detail on that. How do you adjust when teams kind of throw something different at you guys?
Biggest thing is that we've kind of preached and what's coach been preaching on is getting the stops, because that's just going to, fuel the offense. It's going to keep us getting force and thrust on our offensive end. But yeah, teams are trying to get into us, switching out, pressuring us, trying to be aggressive, trying to take away the threes just because, we're getting a lot of attempts and getting a lot of easy shots at that. So we just got to keep doing it on that other end, keep getting stops, making that offensive end easier. And then when we run in offensive stuff, we just got to execute, make our cuts hard, screen, and get each other open when that happens.
Nicole Tab Deportes.
Hi, Jordan. Congrats for the win. You have a great night tonight. So Sorry. You had a great night tonight. So, what motivates you to embrace the position of sixth man? And if you have any player who inspire you to do it?
I mean, I've kind of been in this role for the last couple of years of my career. Just coming here, having this opportunity to play with a really good team, really good coach, and a great system. It's kind of helped me boost my confidence and everything that's going on. But players I watched in this role was that kind of made it cool for me with like Manu Ginobili. Another one I've watched a lot of and played with as well was Lou Will, Jamal Crawford, all those guys that, kind of came off the bench and had the impacts. Those are guys that I really watched, coming up in the league and as well as when I was younger.
All right, that's it. Thanks, Jordan.
There you go, Jordan Clarkson. Interesting question there at the end, asking kind of inspiration or who he looks to his role on the team. I see some similarities to Manu Ginobili out there. I don't know about Lou Williams. We were just kind of talking about that a little bit off the air, but Clarkson, he's got a little Ginobili, I think, to his game.
Yeah, he's got some wiggle for sure, and I really like his toughness. You see it every night where he drives it. What's he going to do? He's going to drive it right to the front of the restricted circle, come to a jump stop, and come back to that left shoulder with his right hand, right? That's what we see.
He loves it.
And he does it every night, and it takes force to do that. Even though you put it out there on film, the fact that you do it over and over and over again means it's an elite skill. The part that I think, and David alluded this in the broadcast, that I love about this guy is I think if you were to overlay his shot chart from his career and look at it compared to this year, he really has shaved a lot of not bad shots, because I think a scorer, you want him to shoot, but he's just taking more effective opportunities to score, and he's getting rid of the other ones. He's done a great job with Quinn's, pass it, shoot it, or move it theory. And he makes quick decisions, and I just love the rhythm he's in right now.
Well, look at his line tonight. It's just amazing. 23 points in 25 minutes, 9 of 13 shooting, 5 of 8 from 3, and had 7 rebounds. I mean, that's just a remarkable game for him. And, his defense has been good. I'm not prepared to call him a great defender at the moment, but, he's played good defense too.
He's been engaged, right? And I think that's the word you can use with a lot of these guys. Whether there'll ever be great defenders and really specialize on that end, but I do feel like there is an engagement and a buy-in on the defensive side that isn't just one guy. I think, all these guys who have, had it as a goal, they're certainly working on it, and it's admirable, and it's really helping the Jazz out on the court and during the season.
All right, should we get to some of our guy Tyson's stats that he's sent over tonight? Our friend Tyson Ewing does stats for AT&T Sportsnet for the TV broadcast, and he usually sends us a few nuggets after the games. You can follow him on Twitter at TyEwing2, at TYEWING2 on Twitter. He's a great Twitter follow. All right, starting out tonight with defense. This is Clint Capella's worst shooting game of his career when attempting more than 6 shots. He was 3 of 14 for 19% tonight.
Wow. Where does he dig this stuff up? Does he have like a... I got to figure out his search mechanism.
He's just a savant. How about that? 19%. Not a great game from Clint. This was the fewest three-point attempts by the Jazz since... This is something we were wondering about. February 24th of last year.
Wow. So they were effective in just cutting down the number of shots.
Yep. They took 26. That game was against Phoenix. Royce O'Neal's 14 double-digit rebound game, and the first time in his career going back-to-back, having 2 consecutive games with double-digit rebounds.
Gotta like that. That bodes well. That's something that you can never get enough of.
Why has he become such a good rebounder? Is it instinctual? Is it he's gotten better at it, positioning? Is it somebody's practiced? Why do you think he's improved so much there?
I would bet a lot of it is experience and having gone through it now. understanding, I think it's one thing to understand angles, but to understand, for instance, on a weak side, somebody shoots the ball away from you and you're on the offensive side, you could simply just seal them in. You don't have to do anything but seal them in, and it opens up a part of the floor for you to get a rebound. Little things like that guys pick up and learn.
It's also kind of Royce's personality, right? Where they probably pulled him aside at the beginning of the year last year and said, "Hey, listen, Royce, we're going to need you to be a rebounder now." And he said, "Oh, okay, whatever I got to do."
Make 50% of my